as you drink to deal with life's frustrations, I run. Although I will admit today it's not.
MASH was one of the most beloved TV shows of all time, making household names of its cast while making us laugh through the horrors of war. But behind the humor and unforgettable moments, the actors who brought these characters to life faced real-life tragedies, untimely deaths, personal struggles, and heartbreaking circumstances that mirrored the show's own blend of comedy and sorrow. From shocking on-set feuds to battles with addiction, illness, and personal loss, their stories reveal the price of fame and the fragile line between laughter and pain. So what really happened to the stars of MASH after the cameras stopped rolling? And whose fate hit the hardest? Stay with us as we uncover the heartbreaking truths behind the cast and decide for yourself which story stays with you long after the final credits roll. Before he became the wise, mustachioed Colonel Sherman T. Potter, Harry Morgan had already lived several lifetimes worth of drama. Born in 1915 Detroit, this son of a Swedish immigrant auto worker got his first bitter taste of tragedy when his father died suddenly during the Great Depression, forcing 18-year-old Harry to support his family. After scraping through law school, a career path he hated, Morgan stumbled into acting through community theater. His breakout came in 1949's Strange Bargain, but it was his 30-year friendship with Jack Webb that defined his early career. Their collaborations on Dragnet and MASH bookended journey that saw Morgan evolve from gruff cop roles to television's most beloved father figure. On MASH, Morgan didn't just play a commander. He became the show's moral compass during its darkest years. When showrunner Larry Gelbart needed to replace the oafish Colonel Blake, Morgan brought military authenticity he'd served in World War II and unexpected warmth. His improvised horse's-ass speech in Season 4's The Late Captain Pierce remains one of television's most powerful moments. Off-camera, Morgan's life mirrored his character's resilience. He endured the 1985 death of his first wife Eileen after 45 years of marriage, raising their 4 children through Hollywood's shifting tides. Even at 90, he continued working, voicing a character on The Simpsons. But his final years were marked by quiet suffering. A series of debilitating strokes left him wheelchair-bound before pneumonia claimed him in 2011 at 96. Morgan's legacy endures not just through Potter's iconic leadership, but in how he elevated every scene, whether trading barbs with Klinger or comforting a dying soldier. He proved that strength comes through compassion. As Alan Alda later reflected, Harry didn't act wise, he simply was. Few actors have embraced villainy with such delicious commitment as Larry Lynville did as the pompous, insecure Major Frank Burns. For 5 seasons, Lynville turned what could have been a one-note antagonist into a tragically comic figure, a man so desperate for approval that he became the 4077th's perfect foil. But behind Frank's bumbling malice was an actor whose real-life struggles ran far deeper than his characters. Born in 1939 to a military family, Lynville grew up on bases across the U.S. and Germany before finding escape in theater. His early career was pure hustle, Broadway understudies, soap operas, and guest spots until MASH made him famous at 33. The irony? Lynville was nothing like Frank. Colleagues described him as thoughtful and self-deprecating, with a passion for jazz piano. The role took its toll. Lynville later admitted Frank's constant humiliation wore on him. Asterisk, playing stupid isn't easy when you're not. Asterisk, his solution? A masterclass in subtlety. Notice how Frank's bravado always cracks just slightly when superiors dismiss him. That wasn't scripted, it was Lynville's genius. Off-screen, demons chased him. 2 divorces, including one with MASH guest star Belinda Montgomery, left him emotionally raw. When he left the show in 1977, one of the first original cast members to depart, Hollywood didn't know what to do with him. Typecasting led to B-movies and dinner theater. Though he found joy teaching acting in New Mexico, his final years were a quiet battle. Emphysema from lifelong smoking left him reliant on oxygen tanks. Yet he continued working until pneumonia killed him at 60 in 2000. In a cruel twist, His death came just as MASH found new generations of fans, none of whom realized the man behind Frank's cartoonish rage was actually a nuanced artist. Lynville's secret? He made Frank human. Watch Season 3's Officer of the Day. When Frank breaks down after failing to save a patient, Lynville lets us glimpse the real tragedy. A mediocre man realizing he's mediocre. That moment ensures Frank Burns will never be forgotten. When McLean Stevenson made the fateful decision to leave MAS*H*H* in 1975, he famously boasted to the press, "I'll be bigger than Alan Alda." Instead, his exit triggered one of Hollywood's most cautionary tales about the fickleness of fame and the haunting legacy of a single creative choice. The Illinois-born Navy veteran had been a rising star in television, cutting his teeth on the Doris Day show before landing the role of the lovably bumbling Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake. His chemistry with the cast was instant, particularly his fatherly dynamic with Radar, Gary Berghoff. But by Season 3, Stevenson grew restless. Convinced he was destined for leading man status, he demanded equal billing with Alda. When producers refused, he shocked everyone by quitting at the height of the show's popularity. His final episode became television history. In Abyssinia, Henry, Blake's emotional farewell, where he finally gets to go home, is undercut by Radar's tearful announcement. His plane, was shot down over the Sea of Japan. There were no survivors. The brutal twist, added last minute without Stevenson's knowledge, made for legendary TV but haunted Stevenson. "I got death threats from fans who thought I betrayed them," he later admitted. What followed was a career death spiral. His NBC sitcom, The McLean Stevenson Show, lasted just 4 episodes. Subsequent vehicles like Hello, Larry became punchlines. By the 1980s, he was reduced to game show appearances and dinner theater. Friends noted his growing bitterness, especially as MAS*H*H* became immortal while he struggled. The personal toll was worse. His 1989 memoir, Straight Arrow, revealed battles with depression and alcoholism. When he died of a sudden heart attack in 1996 at 68, he was preparing to auction off his MAS*H*H* memorabilia for income. Yet Stevenson's legacy is more complex than a cautionary tale. Watch his Season 1 scenes. No one delivered exasperated comedy like him. And that final episode? It revolutionized TV by proving war comedies could break your heart. As Alda later reflected, Mac never understood. Henry Blake was the starring role. Wayne Rogers played Trapper John McIntyre for just 3 seasons, but his razor-sharp wit and effortless chemistry with Alan Alda made him irreplaceable. When he walked away from MAS*H*H* in 1975, fans were devastated until they discovered his second act was even more impressive than his first. The Alabama-born Princeton graduate, who studied economics before catching the acting bug, brought an uncommon intelligence to Trapper. Watch early episodes. His surgical scenes are eerily accurate because Rogers insisted on observing real operations. That same precision fueled his behind-the-scenes battles. He clashed with producers over Trapper's development, later admitting, "they wanted Hawkeye's sidekick. I fought to make him an equal." His exit shocked audiences, but Rogers had already outgrown the role. While others struggled post-*M*A**S*H*, he quietly built a business empire, real estate, a vineyard, even co-owning the Yankees AA team. By the 1990s, he was a regular on Fox Business, analyzing stocks with the same charm he brought to her scenes. Yet tragedy struck in 1994 when his 28-year-old son Chris died suddenly from a heart condition. Rogers channeled his grief into philanthropy, funding cardiac research. His own health declined in later years, but he continued working, even guest starring on House MD. As a cancer patient, until pneumonia took him in 2015 at 82. Rogers' legacy defies Hollywood norms. He proved you could walk away from fame on your own terms and succeed even brighter. As his M.A*S*H* replacement Mike Farrell noted, Wayne wasn't just playing a brilliant surgeon. He was one in real life. While other MASH characters delivered punchlines or dramatic monologues, William Christopher's father Mulcahy did something far more radical. He made goodness compelling. For 11 seasons, the soft-spoken chaplain became the show's moral anchor, a role that mirrored the actor's own extraordinary life of quiet service. Born in 1932 Evanston, Illinois, Christopher's path to acting began as a shy boy who found confidence in school plays. After serving in the Korean War, an experience that later informed his MASH performance, he built a career playing priests and doctors, typecasting he embraced. When producers auditioned him for Mulcahy, they worried he seemed too young. His solution? Showing up with silver hair dye, instantly winning the role. Christopher's genius lay in subtlety. Watch Season 5's Mulcahy's War, when the chaplain finally snaps at Frank Burns. His shaking hands reveal more than any scream could. Off camera, he faced real battles. His son John's autism diagnosis in 1974 led Christopher and wife Barbara to become pioneering advocates, co-founding the National Autistic Society's LA chapter. Those parents who came to us weeping, he recalled, they became our ministry. Unlike many castmates, Christopher never resented being typecast. He guest starred as, what else? A priest on a love boat, voiced Mulcahy in the MASH animated series, and even performed in reunion specials. His final years were spent volunteering at his local church until small cell carcinoma took him in 2016 at 84. The tributes told the story. Co-stars recalled how he quietly sent handwritten notes to sick fans. A rabbi eulogized him as a Christian who made me love my own faith more. And in a fitting epitaph, Christopher's own words endure. Mulcahy wasn't about religion. He was about seeing the spark in everyone. When David Ogden Stiers joined MASH in 1977 as Major Charles Emerson Winchester III, fans expected a one-dimensional replacement for Frank Burns. Instead, they got television's most unexpectedly profound character arc, a snobbish Harvard surgeon who slowly revealed his humanity. Much like the man who played him, Winchester was far more than he first appeared. Born in 1942 in Peoria, Illinois, Stiers' childhood was marked by poverty and an abusive father. He found escape in classical music and theater, eventually studying at Juilliard. His early career was pure struggle, Shakespearean tours, voiceover gigs, and a breakthrough as the announcer on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. When MASH came calling, he initially refused, fearing typecasting. Then I read the script where Winchester comforts a wounded pianist, he recalled. That's when I saw the potential. Stiers elevated every scene with his precision. Watch Season 8's Morale Victory. His wordless reaction when a wounded soldier calls him sir instead of snob is masterful acting. Off camera, he was equally extraordinary. A gifted orchestral conductor, he guest-led over 70 symphonies. He also voiced Disney characters, Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast, while maintaining a fierce commitment to privacy. His later years revealed surprising truths. In 2009, he quietly came out as gay, though he refused to make it his defining trait. My work is my legacy. When bladder cancer struck in 2017, he refused treatment, instead donating his savings to youth music programs. His final public appearance, 2 weeks before his 2018 death at 75, was conducting an orchestra in Oregon. Stiers left behind an unparalleled dual legacy, as the actor who made elitism lovable and the man who proved quiet dignity speaks loudest. As Alan Alda reflected, David didn't play Winchester. He was Winchester, brilliant, complex, and ultimately deeply kind. In an ensemble bursting with big personalities, Judy Frell's Nurse Abel was MASH's quiet revolutionary, a no-nonsense caregiver who delivered some of the show's most subtly feminist moments. Off-screen, Farrell's journey mirrored her character's resilience. navigating Hollywood's sexism while pioneering autism advocacy years before it became mainstream. The Indiana native, born 1938, arrived in Hollywood as a registered nurse, a career she maintained during early acting gigs. When MASH creators learned of her medical background, they rewrote Nurse Able specifically for her, incorporating real surgical jargon into her dialogue. Watch Season 4's The Bus. Her calm instructions during the roadside tracheotomy weren't acting. They were muscle memory. Her personal life intersected dramatically with the show. Married to castmate Mike Farrell, B.J. Honeycutt, from 1963 to 83. Their divorce played out during the series' run, yet they continued sharing scenes with remarkable professionalism. "We left the drama at stage 9, she later said. Her greatest battle came when son Michael was diagnosed with autism in 1974, a time when few understood the condition. She co-founded one of LA's first autism parent groups, using her MASH clout to push for education reforms. Post-**MASH**, Farrell shunned the spotlight, returning to nursing while doing occasional TV roles. Her 2023 death at 84 from stroke complications prompted an outpouring from nurses worldwide, many inspired by her portrayal of their profession's quiet heroism. In her final interview, she distilled her philosophy. Nurse Able never needed to yell. Real strength doesn't. In 1973, when Kelly Nakahara walked onto the MASH set as Lieutenant Kelly Yamato, television had never seen an Asian American woman like her before. Over 11 seasons, she transformed what could have been a background role into a quiet revolution, proving that representation wasn't about lines but presence. Born in 1948 on Oahu, Nakahara was working as a Disneyland dancer when a chance audition landed her on MASH. At first, her character, originally just Nurse Number 3, had no name or backstory. But Nakahara's wit and warmth demanded more. Writers took notice. Watch Season 5's Hey, Look Me Over, where Kelly delivers a blistering monologue about being overlooked. I'm not just some little Oriental girl who giggles all the time. The scene was Nakahara's idea, drawing from real frustrations. Off camera, she broke barriers quietly. When producers initially suggested her character speak pidgin English, Nakahara refused. Real Army nurses were educated professionals. Her insistence changed how Asian Americans were portrayed on TV. Between seasons, she became a sought-after painter. Her watercolors now hang in the Smithsonian. Her 2020 death from cancer at 72 sparked a viral tribute from Asian American actors like Sandra Oh, who credited Nakahara for making space where none existed. Yet her most enduring legacy might be what she taught Hollywood, that background players have foreground souls. Before he became MASH's beloved psychiatrist, Major Sidney Friedman, Alan Arbus had already lived an extraordinary life steeped in real human trauma. His journey from combat photographer to the man who delivered the show's most poignant line. Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice, pull down your pants, and slide on the ice, reveals an artist who turned personal darkness into healing wisdom. Born in 1918 New York to Jewish immigrants, Arbus began as a Depression-era street photographer alongside his first wife, the legendary Diane Arbus. Their work documenting marginalized communities, circus performers, transgender individuals was groundbreaking, but their marriage collapsed under the weight of Diane's mental illness, culminating in her 1971 suicide. When MASH creators approached him in 1973, the 55-year-old Arbus had only acted sporadically. Yet his very first appearance in Radar's report electrified the set. Watch Season 4's The Interview. His unscripted moment, gently wiping a soldier's tear with his thumb, was drawn from his wartime experiences. Alan didn't act empathy, recalled Mike Farrell. He radiated it. Off-screen, Arbus carried his tragedies with quiet grace. He raised their 2 daughters alone while maintaining Diane's artistic legacy. Even as his own acting career flourished post-**MASH**, including a chilling role in Damages at age 90. His 2013 death at 95 from heart failure came just days after he'd been discussing a new photography exhibit. In a show about war's absurdity, Arbus gave audiences something rare, a survivor who refused to surrender to despair. As he once told a fan, *, Sydney's jokes weren't escape. They were armor forged in real fires.